You're listening to Talking Teesdale, a regular podcast covering Barnard Castle and the surrounding villages. Brought to you in association with the Witham Community Arts Centre.
Hello once again and welcome to another Talking Teesdale podcast. My name's Stuart Laundy and right about now you'd be expecting to hear the dulcet tones of my co-host Jane Woodward, but unfortunately Jane can't be with us this week. She uttered something about being busy at work or something like that, but I rather suspect the ongoing issue of a lack of a comfortable chair had more to do with it. I'll have to see if I can remedy that situation over the summer. This one is in fact the final podcast of the current series. We're taking a break for the summer holidays and we'll be back for what promises to be a very busy autumn indeed. But on with the show, and first up this week it's the Witham that actually takes centre stage. It was the Arts Centre's annual general meeting earlier this week, and I'll be taking a look at one or two of the points that were raised by Chair Liz Bromley in her annual report, and having a quick glance at Treasurer Nikki Grace's report as well. And for this week's community spot, I'll be catching up with an old colleague from the Witham who is now heading up a befriending project that is helping to tackle social isolation in Teesdale. There are a couple of interesting shows coming up in the next 7 days, which I'll mention a bit later on, and we'll finish with a bit of music from young British blues artist Connor Selby. He's got a new album coming out in August, and he's on tour and coming to the Witham on September the 17th.
You're listening to Talking Teesdale.
But first to this week's annual general meeting of the Witham Arts Centre, and the message from Chair Liz Bromley that although it was a good positive 2024 for the centre with ticket sales up, income up and footfall up, running a community arts centre doesn't get any easier. She described her first year as Chair of Trustees as fun but challenging and conceded that we live in a climate of financial insecurity. She said that among the positive aspects of 2024 was a phenomenal increase in footfall, driven in part by the opening of the banking hub in the centre. She said overall income for 2024 had increased by £41,000 compared to the previous year. The centre had hosted 91 shows, and in addition there were 33 comedy shows staged by the Funny Way to Be Comedy Club, and 11,000 people had attended classes and community events at the Witham. The cafe had also attracted 31,000 users, which had resulted in a 16% increase in income in bar and cafe sales. On the downside, she said looking after such an old historic building continued to be something of a major headache, with maintenance and repairs ongoing to the building. Overall, she described her first year as Chair of Trustees as a remarkable journey. Treasurer Nikki Grace reported a deficit for the year of £16,000, which was down from £24,000 in the previous year. Overall income was £525,000 against overall expenditure of almost £542,000. The meeting also heard how an optional levy on tickets to help pay for the building maintenance costs had been well received by customers. She concluded by saying that the Witham, in common with other high street traders, was having to contend with more issues this year, such as lower consumer confidence affected by things such as the increase in the national minimum wage and national insurance contributions. And it's the current trading conditions that were the focus of the chat I had with Centre Director Amy Hughes when I caught up with her a couple of days ago. So I've been following the fortunes of the Witham for nigh on 15 years now. And in all that time, the word that always it seems synonymous to the Witham is challenging. And I think it's fair to say that that remains the case. I'm joined by Amy Hughes, the Centre Director, who's going to give us an idea of how things are going day to day at the Witham. Amy, how are you doing? Nice to meet you. Right. Nice to see you back on the podcast again.
Thank you very much. Thanks. How are you, Stuart?
So, challenging. It's been one thing and another, really, going back before your time to the building being refurbished and then reopened, and then we went through the public appeal for funds, and then we hit COVID, and then we came out of COVID and all that sort of stuff. So there doesn't seem to have been any sort of period of stability. Would that be fair enough?
Well, yes, in terms that we were in a deficit, and we will continue to be in a deficit until we get some really constant large amount of funding, like any independent art centre. Last year we're actually seeing a huge increase in our ticket sales, in our income. So we were able to take a little bit of that deficit away, which was fantastic. But we made a lot of changes. So the fundraising the funds that we did win last year, we used to try and increase secondary spend. So it was kind of low hanging fruit that hadn't kind of people hadn't done. So we'd done a lot last year that increased. So that was brilliant. We catapulted on the public programme approximately 40 odd grand in the positive, which was great. So it allowed us to cut into the deficit. But what we've seen this year for 2025 is a decline in ticket sales. And I think that's really reflective of the financial economy at the minute.
Yeah, I think it's fair to point out it's not just the Witham that's seen this.
No, it's up and down the country. Similar, especially venues like us. So the larger venues, the arenas and, big names, they're not struggling because I think the pattern is that people are keeping their money so that they go on a real experience. They'll spend more to have a weekend away as opposed to coming to little shows now and again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People are much more willing to spend, say, 150 quid on going to see Bruce Springsteen at a stadium rather than 25 quid on a good comedian or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I was looking on Audience Agency just at the data, and I think it was around 15% decline in the last year on ticket sales, and 124 small independent venues closed in the UK last year. Which is just a huge, colossal amount to close down because they don't get funding. The other thing that we're seeing is we're applying for, I think we've done about 14 this year so far, and we've only won 2. There's just too much competition for the funding out there.
Yeah. So what's the answer? Is there an answer?
Well, we're reviewing...
How can I'll put that differently. How can you tackle this situation?
Yeah. So the first thing that we've done is just reviewing our marketing strategy. As you know, everybody's on socials. It's huge now. And we are a little bit strapped in this town in terms of the demographics, and not a lot of people use socials that are typically our customer. So we're just trying to change our marketing strategy to reflect what's happening. We're looking at trends, looking at what other people are doing, other arts venues. But the main thing, I think, is just revisiting the programme, but also asking the people, because at the end of the day, the people of the town and our customers, our existing customers, we need to know, what is it that you're prioritising right now? What is it that you would spend your money on? So we can reflect what we're offering to try and help the people that help us. At the end of the day, we are a community building, and we've got to be, supporting each other.
Yeah. Is it just ticket sales that are affected, or are venues? I mean, nowhere is just an art centre now. Either there's an art centre in a cafe or gallery or whatever like that. So
yeah, no, it's not. And what we are seeing for a positive is that the room hires are actually increasing. We're seeing a lot more people hiring our rooms, so that's really helping us. But the cafe sales, they've dipped. I mean, we have a large amount of cafes in the town, which doesn't help. But we do have our customers that come daily. We're seeing a drop off at around 2:00 where we see it goes really empty. So we're just trying to introduce deals that are reflective of what we're selling. For example, we're selling less meals because they cost more, and we're selling a lot more cake and coffee.
Yeah.
So we're then putting a deal on for cake and coffee because that's clearly what people can afford.
So are you wanting people to sort of get in touch and let you know?
Yeah, I think it would be really handy. It would be great for us to do some kind of some reach out to the community. And if you can call in, you can email, but just let us know, what is it that you want to see us do? We can't do everything, but we can certainly try and tailor the programme, tailor the offers we're doing, to try and help the community through this as well, and to make sure that we stay open. At the end of the day, we're here for them, but them being here for us, which they have been, you just mentioned in the past, needs to continue so we can keep the doors open.
It's obviously not the rosiest picture looking forward, but what sort of things are doing well? What sort of shows, performances? What's the type of thing that people are coming out to?
Yeah, I suppose Jane's here with your co-presenter and also my colleague. I think we would probably be looking at tribute bands being the biggest, and that's quite conflicting to who we are normally. So the reality is we've put them on with the worry of kind of oversaturating the market as well. You can't have too many because people can't come. They can't come to everything. But people want to have a party. They want to have a dance like the old times and come and have a sing-along. But what that means is that the other stuff that we have on is not selling as well. And actually, people are willing, I'm saying that people are willing to take less of a risk on live and new music, which is actually where the art is. And that's a shame. It's a huge shame. We'll get there.
I was going to say, we'll get there. There'll be an answer.
The thing is you just have to look at, you've constantly got to grow and change, and that's what we're doing. It's not all doom and gloom. And financially, as we stand today, we're looking to break even. And in this financial economy, that's not a bad place to be.
No, not with everything that's sort of been thrown at, not just the arts centre, but businesses in general over the last sort of few months.
Exactly. And we've got some really die-hard customers now who come in and give us opinion on good and bad, which is great, because whatever it is, it's passion for the Witham. So we've still got our supporters. It's fantastic. It's just really finding out what do people want from where, there is a lot of community assets in the town. There's a lot of people doing stuff, and we don't want to be doing all the same. So if there's something we can do to help, let us know.
Amy, thank you very much.
No props.
So, plenty of food for thought there from Amy. And as she was saying, if you've got views on the Witham and the programme or anything else to do with the centre, by all means, get in touch. Simply email info@thewitham.org.uk.
Hi, this is Louise, Queen of Social Media, and you're listening to Talking Teesdale with Stuart and Jane.
Except it's just Stuart flying solo this week. Right, on with the community slot, in which I caught up with an old friend. So for this week's community focus on the podcast, I've caught up with an old friend from the Witham. Suzanne Wallace, how are you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you.
So Suzanne these days is the coordinator of a project called Time Together Teesdale, which has a rather natty tagline: making a difference one conversation at a time. So Suzanne, welcome to the podcast. Explain what Time Together Teesdale is all about.
So Time Together Teesdale is a joint venture between UTAS, which is Upper Teesdale Agricultural Support Services, and Teesdale Day Clubs. So the project has been set up to help people in the community in Teesdale who are feeling lonely, isolated, who cannot get out and about or have lost their confidence. So we take referrals from the doctors, from family, from social services and social prescribers. The idea is then that we get a cohort of volunteers who we train up, and we then match them with the people that have been sent in via referrals. And they then visit the person that they've been matched with, usually on a weekly basis, but it can be fortnightly, monthly, depending on what both parties agree.
It's interesting because the thing about isolation really came to the fore during COVID, but I think people forget that it was an issue before COVID, and it's certainly an issue after COVID, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's more prominent now. People did lose confidence throughout COVID because we weren't allowed out. So to now think that they can get out and about, they've probably lost lots of friends, the families don't live nearby, and they're tending to visit the doctors on a more regular basis. And it's not through illness, it's through loneliness. So our aim is to give them something to look forward to on a weekly basis, and get them out and about and give them something to look forward to in their life.
Like a lot of projects across Teesdale, this one also relies on volunteers. So what exactly does a volunteer do?
So we are 100% reliant on volunteers. The volunteer, usually they'll make contact with me directly, or it'll be word of mouth through current volunteers. We've got a volunteer cohort now of around 30, who, as I say, when I go and visit the referrals, I learn a little bit more about the person that's asking for support and what they'd like to get out of the project. And then the same with the volunteer, find out what they're wanting to get out of the project, and we kind of match them to give them the best for both, so that they understand what the project going forward will help them.
Why volunteer? I mean, this seems quite a sort of involved caring role. Do you need experience in that sort of sector, or if you just fancy volunteering to help somebody, is that all right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's open to anybody that wants to give something back to the community. We do stress that the volunteers on Time Together Teesdale, they're not carers, they're not cleaners, they don't do anything with the finances. Literally, they're going out and being company for another individual.
So it's a cuppa and a friendly face and a say hello.
Yeah, a cuppa, friendly face, go for a walk, go to the shops, anything like that.
And what's the response you've had from those who have either been referred to you or who've come forward seeking some help from the project?
Excellent. It's the project really has taken off. We've got 30 volunteers who go out and obviously support another 30, although we've got some volunteers that pick up two people to support. The benefit is actually on both sides because the project has been running quite a while and I get quite involved with the volunteers and the support. So once I've matched them, we don't just leave them. I tend to go out and visit them maybe a month, 2 months, depending on what's needed. And from the reports back, the volunteers get as much out of the companionship as the support. So it's, I can't speak highly enough about what the community is getting back.
And so if somebody wanted to find out more or take part in this project, how do they get involved?
So to get involved, you can either drop me an email, which is suzanne@utas.org, or just simply pick up the phone, call Teesdale Day Clubs or UTAS, and they'll get the details to me and I'll make contact with you.
And from what you've seen of it, it strikes me that this is a really rewarding project on both sides.
Yeah, totally. The gem with that is matching, getting the match right at the start, because the last thing we want to do is not understand people and what they want to get out of it, both parties. So it's getting the match right that makes it long-term, so it's got a long-term life.
And a quick reminder that to find out more about the Time Together Teesdale project, you can contact Suzanne at UTAS on 01833 641010 or via the Teesdale Day Clubs on 01833 695822.
Hi, I'm Jim.
And I'm Sheila.
We're volunteers at the Witham.
And you're listening to Talking Teesdale with Stuart and Jane.
Where I now have to do my best impression of Jane to bring details of a couple of interesting events that are coming up in the next 7 days. First up on Tuesday, that's July the 15th, between 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock in the evening, the Durham Brass Festival comes to the Witham with a brass bash. Weather permitting, it'll be held outdoors in the garden at the rear of the centre, and highlights include the return of the Rajasthan Heritage Brass Band, and anybody who was there last year will remember what a cracking set they played. Joining them this time are the John Burke's Orchestra and New York Brass Band. As I mentioned, it's a free event, so get yourself along and enjoy some live music. Then on Friday, that's July the 18th, we have what looks to be a very interesting work-in-progress show. Now, normally these are where comedians visit to test out their new material, and fair enough, Mark Thomas is well known to comedy audiences, but on this occasion, he's test driving a new play. It's called Ordinary Decent Criminal, and it's been written by Ed Edwards, and it follows a recovering addict called Frankie, who's played by Mark Thomas, in the years following the Strangeways prison riot of 1991, as he enters the brave new world of a liberal prison experiment. The play is described as a new tale of freedom, revolution, and messy love. It's suitable for audiences aged 16 plus, and tickets priced £14 are on sale now. And you can check out the full programme at the Witham online at www.thewitham.org.uk or by calling the box office on 01833 631107.
Hi, I'm the one and only Josh, the man, the myth, the legend, and you are listening to Talking Teesdale with Stuart and Jane.
So, as promised, a bit of music to end this podcast with. It comes from 3 times Young Artist of the Year at the UK Blues Awards, Connor Selby. He's got a new album coming out in August, which is called The Truth Comes Out Eventually. It's his 3rd album. I'm really looking forward to it. His first 2 albums were absolute crackers. Not surprisingly, he's touring in support of the album and includes a show at the Witham on September the 17th. To give you a flavour of his music, here's a track from his most recent album, which was simply called Connor Selby, and it's called Show Me a Sign.
I gave you my love, would you give me yours? If it was pouring out with rain, would you open up your door? Girl, I loved you before I even knew your name. But this love now, baby, don't do nothing but make me feel ashamed. And I know I'd swim across the ocean, baby, just to be near you. It don't matter what you say, it don't matter what you do, 'cause you know I just want to be your man. Well, come on now, baby. Come on now. It ain't that hard to understand. And I know, deep down in my heart, all I want you to do for me now, baby, is show me a sign. Show me a sign. Yeah, baby, show me a sign. Show me a sign. Come on and show me a sign. Show me a sign. Yeah, Lord, show me a sign. Show me a sign. I know to you, I ain't nothing but a low-down fool, but I got to, I just forgot to know for sure if I'm wasting my time. I don't mind. I don't mind. Well, I don't mind. Just show me a sign. Come on and show me a sign. Show me a sign. Yeah, Lord, show me a sign. Lord, show me a sign. You know it ain't that hard. Show me a sign. I said, please show me a sign. Show me a sign.
Connor Selby and Show Me a Sign. And as I mentioned, if that's your sort of thing, get yourself tickets to his show at the Witham on September the 17th. Well, that's it for this time. And as I mentioned, we're taking a break for the summer. We're off on our jollies, taking it easy. And we'll be back in a few weeks to look ahead to an extremely busy autumn season. Until then, I'll say cheerio. Ta-da.
Thanks for listening. We'll be talking Teesdale again soon. In the meantime, please spread the word, like, share and subscribe, or go online to thewitham.org.uk.